Copeland with Georgia Christian Business Network, and we are putting God back in business. I'm excited today. We have one of our newer members on the call with us today, Connie Menser, and I'm so excited that God brought her into the GCBN network family. But before I start to talk to you more about Connie and the awesome presentation that she's going to bring to us today, I just want to remind everyone, and I may be for Beth, but I just need to remind you that this is the year of the shift. And God gave that to us back late August, I think, maybe around GGG time last year, that this year would be a year of a lot of shifting happening, and that it is to be themed the year of the shift. And at that point, I didn't have the acronym because most of you know, if you know anything about me, is that I'm the queen of acronyms. And it's not something that I elected to do, it's something just how God downloads for me what really is in a word. What's it really in the shift? How do you facilitate the shift for your life? And there are 5 points that he gave me through Holy Spirit, just downloaded that we have to really focus on in order to experience that shift in our life. So, what I want to do is just quickly, because it's been a time since we've actually shared it online at a Transformation Tuesday Business Power Call. So, I just want to quickly run through those, and then I'm going to allow Connie to introduce herself to tell you who she is, what she does, and why it's important for you to know. In addition to that, I'm just going to let her talk to you about this outstanding topic and the 3 shifts that are key for business owners for today to make the move that you're expecting for God to bring forth. But the shift acronym, the S in shift, is surrender stale systems. We've been holding on too long for things, that expecting God to do a new thing, but we won't release the old things, the things that are stale, that are no longer serving us. We keep holding on. And what God is trying to shift us back into is our born identity. And of course, that's an acronym within itself. So, an acronym within an acronym, but quickly, beliefs, operating, regulate, and navigating systems. We need to shift back, releasing those stale systems, revisiting what are our beliefs, operating, navigating, regulating and navigating systems. In addition to that, heighten the heartbeat for him is the eighth in the shift. H in the shift is heighten your heartbeat for him. It's to experience more of God, to model David, a man after God's own heart. Not necessarily that he didn't mess up, but he knew what repentance really meant. Yeah, I've seen God and fallen short of your glory. I repent. I'm turning away from that sin and I'm running towards you even the more. So oh wow, this is so a great opportunity, and it's right in the middle of the road there, is to ignite intentional and an impact. Well, let me write right, to ignite intentional, I got them twisted, intentional and influential impact. And you have a space of influence, a sphere of influence, and it's important that you know how to represent God in such a way that not only does it stir up the gift within you, but you ignite that opportunity for others. Yeah. And the F is a faith forward, future focus, and to forgive is to make sure that we're going faith forward. The shift, if you expect God to take you higher, to bring you into that greater place, to experience the goodness that he has for him, we have to stop looking back so much. Look forward. Have that faith forward future focus. But what else will keep you from experiencing the more of God is being stuck and not walking in forgiveness. Forgiveness is key to that faith forward future focus. Yeah, to that faith forward movement. And finally, where we'll land with the shift acronym and revisit it for today is the T. We have to transform truth to trust. Last year in the STAND acronym, we recall that the T stood for uh, truth trumps temptation. Okay. So when truth trumps temptation, what we understood about that is that the truth that we believe is important, and we could apply it to a scripture and it would trump our temptation to disbelieve. So when true trumps temptation and stand, we just bring it over into the shift acronym and say that we have to take that transition, that truth that we believe that God can do it, and we believe wholeheartedly that He can. But we have to transition that into trust, knowing that trusting that God's going to do it. So truth says, I believe. Trust says, I believe that He can do it. It's what truth says. Trust says He's already done it. And so I'm so excited about today, Connie. I'm terribly thankful for you, not only being a GCBN member, but getting to know you and sharing with you and learning about the wonderful things that God has happening in your life. Would you please share with those that are with us today on the Zoom, and also those that we're streaming into LinkedIn, also into our Facebook group, and YouTube as well? We'd love for you to introduce yourself at this point and just flow into what you have for us today.
Okay.
Thank you.
First, I would just like to say thank you. I was first introduced to GCBN in 2022. Can you believe that? And it was through a mutual friend of Beth Copeland
Really?
and
Oh, yeah.
myself. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I joined at the time back then, but if I'm honest, I didn't fully commit.
Okay.
So
Oh,
then last year, last September, GCBN came back to mind. And so I decided to go ahead and visit. And I received such a warm welcome, not only from Beth, but from so many women in the room. So I signed up on the spot. And so I've been attending ever since. And
and
now
I didn't even realize, I think I realized initially back in 2022 that you did join, but you were inactive. So I
I
didn't
was
even
inactive.
realize that,
Yeah.
that you had been, that had escaped my mind. But
But I'm
awesome.
active, but I'm active
You
now.
sure are, and we appreciate that. Thank you. What you put
Yeah.
in is what I say to everyone. It's what you
Right.
got to get out.
It
Yeah.
is. It absolutely is. So I'm honored and I'm excited about being able to speak today with Transformation Tuesday. And I'm grateful and excited to be here today. Um, just to give a little bit about myself, I grew up in upstate New York. I have 8 siblings altogether. There's 8 of us altogether, so 7 siblings. I was number 7 out of 8, so I'm second to last. But I'm the adventurous one. And I live in Atlanta, Georgia now with my husband Charles. And so we have no kids, but we used to have dogs. We don't have any more dogs. So it's down to the 2 of us. But I love Atlanta, and that's home for me now. Um, but at the heart of my work as a clarity and leadership coach, I help women business owners close the gap so that they can lead with confidence and actually build what matters most to them. So that's the nature of my business. I would love to start pray again since everybody's online right now. Um, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here to get today. I pray that you'll quiet the noise and just allow us to hear from you, directly from you, and give us the courage to take that next step and help us to trust you more, even when we are in that moment of comparing ourselves to others. In Jesus' name, amen. So, as I said, my heart is helping women close that clarity gap. Um, so to get started, let me just ask you a question. If you could remove all your doubts, your fears, and every limitation you've placed on yourself, what would you go after? No hesitation, no second guessing, just clarity. Because what I have found is this: many business women owners aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. They're stuck in the gap between knowing and trusting. Does that resonate with anybody?
Oh,
Um,
wow. Oh, that is so true. And you just summed up transition truth to trust
that's
in a
exactly right.
nutshell.
Yes. We're in the
That's your
T.
livelihood. That's what you
We're in
do.
the T zone today. We're in the T and shift. So,
Gosh.
And when we hesitate, we start to drift. So when we stop trusting what we know, we hesitate. And when we hesitate, we start to drift. And one of the biggest reasons we hesitate is comparison.
Oh my goodness.
Because when we start looking at what everyone else is doing, we begin to question our own direction. And over time, we don't just lose momentum, but we lose clarity. And when you lose clarity, every decision or most decisions get even harder.
That
So
comparison is horrible. It
comparison
is.
is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're going to keep moving forward with confidence, if we're going to stay aligned and actually run our race, whatever that race is, there are three shifts you and I have to make that keeps us from drifting off course. Right size your race, reframe the resistance, and run the next step.
Mm, mm.
And
Whoa.
I'll be honest, these aren't things I figured out overnight. They're things that I had to learn, sometimes the hard way, if not oftentimes the hard way. And I actually come back to them again and again. And the first shift is this, right size your race. Because one of the fastest ways that we drift off course is by looking sideways instead of looking forward, because I've been there. There was a season in my life where I was torn by a decision that stayed with me for months. On
Mm,
one side, I had the nonprofit that I started back in 2004, something I deeply love and that's had a global impact. And on the other side, I had my coaching business, Connie Menser LLC, something that was growing and expanding my vision. And honestly, I found myself asking, do I keep both? Do I focus on one? Do I let one go? And I wrestled with it. And this wasn't just a business decision. It felt
both.
like it felt like a calling decision because both mattered. Have you ever felt that? Like you have two or more good things and you
Oh
just
my
know which
God.
one is right? Yeah, it's a tough place to be.
I feel you're all in my mail and you've read it and you're reading it out loud to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, this was
Yeah.
real for me, and I know it's real for others, and I'm glad that that resonates with you.
Yeah,
Um,
just wait till NACWE Thursday night. You'll hear what
okay,
you just
okay.
said. Yeah.
And in that season, the passage of scripture that I really clung to was Psalm 143:8. It says, "Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I entrust my life."
Whoa, that is good.
It's a great verse,
I love it.
a
I love
heartfelt
it.
verse. And I didn't feel the full plan. I didn't need the full plan. I just needed God to show me the way. And that was my prayer. So I actually did what many of us do. I started looking around.
Uh-huh.
At first, I was looking for input, and that's not a bad thing. But over time, something shifted. I stopped listening for wisdom and I started looking for direction. I stopped asking, what's right for me? And I actually started asking, what did they do? And without even realizing it, comparison crept in. And instead of gaining clarity, I became more confused, more conflicted, more stuck. And I learned something in that season. Comparison doesn't give you clarity, it rewrites your definition of success. It rewrites your definition of success. I wasn't stuck because I lacked options. I was stuck because I was comparing them. And what I didn't realize at the time was this. Comparison was quietly reshaping what success looked like for me. It wasn't just influencing my decisions, it was influencing my direction. So what I did was I had to come back to one question. What does success look like for me? Not what it used to look like, not what others expect, but what's actually mine to run. And this is what it looks like. Uh, well, and that's the question I want to give to you. What does success look like for you right now? You don't need to answer that out loud unless you want to, but I really want you to think about it. And I see this all the time. I recently asked a woman, who I'm going to call Maggie, just for privacy's sake. And by every external measure, she was successful. She built a strong career, she was thriving, and she has a great marriage. But she said something that just really stuck with me. She said, "People look at my life and say I'm successful, but I don't feel successful at all." Because deep down, she had a growing sense that she was meant for something different, something more aligned with who she really was. So I asked her, "Maggie, what do you feel like you're being pulled toward?" Her story was my story. Because here's what I found. If success isn't clearly defined, it becomes a moving target. It's like running a race without a finish line, or worse, with multiple finish lines. How crazy would that be, right? And how do you know? How do you know when to push harder, when to pace yourself, or when you've actually arrived? You don't. And for many of us, success has been shaped by what we see around us. Maybe it's a financial achievement, a certain income level, personal growth. And none of those are bad goals, right? But they may not be yours. And that's why this matters so much. Because if you don't define success for yourself, comparison will define it for you. Because again, what's right for someone else may not be right for you. And when you build from comparison instead of alignment, you don't get clarity, you lose it. And here's what I discovered next as a result of going through all of this. Even when you define success for yourself, it doesn't automatically make decisions easier,
Mm-mm.
right? Because clarity alone doesn't eliminate confusion. It just changes the questions you have to answer. And this is when I realized I wasn't lacking options, but I was lacking a filter, a way to decide what actually deserved my yes. And that's when I created what I now call the yes framework. Because every yes you say shapes your direction,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And the
Yes, ma'am.
goal, and the goal isn't to say yes to more. It's to say yes to what's right. So the yes framework, just to give it to you briefly, Y is yield to vision. E is evaluate the fit. And S is step forward.
You're an acronym queen as
That's
well.
my acronym. That I was going to tell you, that's my acronym. I like
I love
acronyms
it.
too
I
because they're
love it. I
easy to
love
remember.
it. God is so good.
Yeah. So
I made a note because you're saying so much, but I
yeah.
wanted to not miss this. That I want to unpack this just a little bit more.
Okay.
And Lisa's also wanting to confirm that acronym. I'm going to let you go through it again, and then I want to
Okay.
unpack something that you wrote that you said that I captured in the notes. Okay.
Okay.
Repeat your yes acronym.
Y is yield to vision, your vision, not somebody else's,
Uh-huh.
right? E, evaluate the fit. S, step forward.
That is so amazing. And we'll come back to that. I want to shift backwards just for right now.
That's fine.
I think you need to make a meme and put your name to this. I think this is so powerful.
Oh, yes, this is, yeah.
Comparison rewrites your definition of success. I'm stuck back there. I am stuck back there because
Okay.
when we compare ourselves against ourselves, Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians 10th chapter that is unwise. I just wrote about comparisons. I don't know if you saw my newsletter a couple of weeks ago, my prayer letter. I welcome you to go back
Right.
and
Okay.
spend some time. I'm sure Renee probably saw it and Lisa maybe. But the thing that God has shown me, and because so many women, possibly men too, get stuck in comparisons. They get more likes than I get. They have more friends. Their house is larger, mine is smaller. I mean, they have more kids, and I don't know. It gets pretty interesting, in life when that comparison comes in. But what is so powerful to me of how you've written this is that it rewrites your definition of success. And
Absolutely.
what I even see, and not trying to tweak your saying or not, nothing at all. I think it's just so powerful. But what I actually hear in that is, what has God called you to do? And when
Absolutely.
and when we look and don't get out of our lane, so to speak, and try to focus on that's working for Connie Menser over there. And this doesn't seem to be working right here with Beth for right now. So I'm gonna just throw that in the garbage. What God has me on the path, hopefully, that God has us on, and we're looking over to the left. I mean, I love the set your face like flint. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right. But we have a tendency, Connie, and you know this well, of taking our eyes off of God, because what we do basically in this comparison thing is that we've taken our eyes off of God and who he's called us to be, what he's called us to do, and we've taken them and we look to another for direction and clarity about what is supposed to spell success for Beth. And only that connection to God can help you with that. You take it from there. Talk to
Yeah,
us more about this. Yes.
we start out looking for wisdom, which is good, but then we end up starting look for direction, which can take us in a direction that we were never meant to go in. That's why this is so key.
But why
Um,
is it that we've taken, and I promise to leave you alone. Why is it that we start to look for direction? Define that for folks. We start to look for direction. Why are we so hungry for direction when it came to us from God? Why aren't we seeking Him for that direction? Why do we?
that does come up in the talk. I mean, we do
Okay,
come
so
up,
leave that
come up with
alone.
that in the talk. But part of that solution is that yes framework that I created. Part of that is the solution, right? Yield to your vision, not someone else's vision. Evaluate the fit, right? And step forward. And so we're going to get into those and this a little bit more as we step into each shift. So, Um, so shift one, as we talked about, is right size your race. And part of that is defining, coming up with your own definition of success. And another part of that is the yes framework that helps you do that, helps you move forward in that direction. Um, so what we have to understand is that clarity doesn't come from waiting, it comes from moving, right? To get back into the where we were going. And when you start making decisions that way, you stop drifting and you start leading. That's part of the key right there, part of your question, the answer to your question. So here's what happened though. Even after I started to define the success for myself and make more aligned decisions, I thought it would get easier. And we often do, right? It would make sense, but it didn't. And even when I was clear, I still hesitated because clarity doesn't automatically create confidence. And that's the gap that most women get stuck in. And that's when I realized clarity wasn't the problem anymore. Resistance was. And that's where the second shift comes in, reframe the resistance. Um, so, and that hesitation, right? That's what I now call resistance. It shows up like this: overthinking, second guessing, waiting for more clarity, even when you already know what to do. And for a long time, I thought resistance meant that I was doing something wrong. But what I've come to realize is this: resistance isn't the problem, it's the signal. I was listening to this coach, her name is Bridget, and she's a Maxwell leadership coach, and she made me laugh because because what she shared was painfully true. And I think it'll be the same for all of you that are listening. Um, remember Snow White? This is where she went into. She said, "You remember Snow White? The queen stands in front of the mirror and says, 'Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?'" Well, today it sounds more like this: "Mirror, mirror on Facebook, tell me how my life should look." I see you smiling, Beth, but is anybody groaning in the room? Because I know that hit home for me. "Mirror, mirror on Instagram, tell me who I really am." "Mirror, mirror on LinkedIn, tell me how I really win." Wow. When those words were shared, I just about fell out of my chair. But just like that, you go from feeling confident to questioning everything. Anyone experience that?
I, I,
I really don't, right? Have you experienced that? Anybody in the room
you,
experienced
you
that?
know, that's why, for me personally,
Mm,
those social media platforms can be totally intimidated if you're not confident and secure in who you are and who God called you to be. And so
absolutely.
I hold them just very loosely, to tell you the truth. I'm so glad and so grateful and so thankful for Lisa Muth and Rosalind Jean, and even Jessica too as a team member. But I'm talking in particular about those two because they keep me in a position of being present without having to directly be present. Because what you have to have a certain mindset, because you can easily get carried away, even if there's something that I've known for years. A friend of mine, and she just straight up told me years ago. She said, "Beth, you just don't have a jealous bone in your body." But
Mhm.
I accepted that, and God showed that to me, and I thank God for that. It's just not something that's not one of mine, right? I can be excited for others and all of that. The thing that I want to get to, however, is when you get out there, those things that never bothered you before will start to bother you. And to say,
Mhm.
if you're not in the right mindset, if you've not studied up, if you've not read up, if you're not prayed up, those type things as, oh, well, maybe GCBN should start doing this, or maybe that. You have to learn what you offer is a much needed resource for people in general to be able to experience a greater shift in their lives
Right,
to
right.
no, because I've been there, done that, fight that thing.
Mhm. Social media platforms are beneficial in so many different ways. But if we're getting caught up in what everybody else is doing, that's a shift, right? That's taking you in a direction that you're shifting away from your race. And that's what you have to be careful with. And obviously that resonates with people. I don't know what everyone on this call is walking through right now, but if you've ever felt that tension, that hesitation, that internal pull, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And um, but this is what I started to notice. It wasn't just comparison, it was the resistance that it created. Because most of us treat that feeling like the problem. We're trying to push through it, ignore it, or wait for it to go away. But what if that's not the problem? What if resistance is actually trying to tell you something? And what I came to understand was this: resistance isn't your enemy, it's your mirror. And I call those mirror moments. Mirror moments are those moments when something inside of you is being revealed, not to stop you, but to show you what's really going on, what's happening inside. And they don't mean you're necessarily off track. They show you where the real work is. It's that moment when you know what to do, but something is holding you back. And when I look back on that season, this is what resistance showed me. It showed me where I didn't trust my own discernment, where I wanted certainty I wasn't going to get, and where I was measuring my decision against someone else's life. It showed me where I didn't trust myself yet. But I can tell you what it also showed me. It also showed me where I could grow. It wasn't confusion, it was conflict. And that's where we get off track. Because instead of looking inward, we're looking outward, right, side to side, and at everyone else's race that they're running. And that's when comparison, steps in, and we start using the wrong mirror. And this is where we start to evaluate the fit, right? It's not just eternal, but it's internal. What fits? What doesn't? What's being revealed? Because the moment you start measuring your progress against someone else's race, resistance multiplies. It multiplies. So what I ended up doing was thinking it through, and I went through a lot of prayer through this. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of this? What if we asked, what is this trying to show me? And that was what was happening with Maggie. It wasn't that she didn't know what to do. She actually did know. But the moment she started moving forward or toward that goal that she was looking forward to, the resistance showed up. And it sounded like this: what if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I lose what I've built? What will people think? And underneath all of it, there was this pressure that she couldn't ignore. Not wanting to disappoint God, not wanting to disappoint others or herself, not wanting to walk away from something good, but wondering, am I getting it wrong? And that's what resistance often looks like, right? It's not confusion, but internal conflict. If we look at Psalm 37:24, it's one of my favorite verses. It says, though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I love this verse. Stumbling doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're still being held. Think about that. You're still being held. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you're learning to trust God as you do it. Because here's what that gap really is. It's the gap between truth and trust. Truth says, I know what I should do. Trust says, I'm willing to take the step. Now, Beth, I know you have yours in your shift, but that's in my version. Truth says, I know what I should do, and trust says, I'm willing to take the next step.
It still works because truth
It
says, I
does.
believe from my standpoint, trust
Absolutely.
says it's already done. And so
Yes,
you're just rewriting it a different way. The
absolutely.
bridge is, to transition, you know,
Right.
that what I know I'm supposed to do to make it happen. Is what you're saying.
Mhm.
Let's do it. And it marries. There's synergy
It
there.
does. It does,
And
Mary.
and so I'm like, and I'm really just take blown away. And
Mhm.
we'll talk every time I come out here, and our members are so amazing because we purposely put our members out there to give them exposure so that people can understand what they could really glean from them and the
Right.
opportunity if they were to do business with you.
Right.
This is what they could expect, and this is the benefit to
Absolutely.
that. And
Absolutely.
but at the simultaneously, what we're offering is free coaching. That's
Mhm.
what we basically are doing, are offering free coaching here. And it's a great opportunity for members and non-members alike. What we hope that is non-members would see the benefit to being connected to Georgia Christian Business Network and want to be a member and join. You know,
Right.
it's like my business mentor, Art Druckenmiller, said when we would go meet at restaurants years ago, we got to pay the rent. So, but sometimes we have a lot of people gleaning and they don't want to pay the rent. But that's not my point. My point is what you said. I got on the rabbit trail there. But the opportunity is here.
Opportunity is here. So,
Right.
so to go back, truth says, I know what I should do. We usually do. It's deep down inside. And trust says, I'm willing to take the step. And that gap right there is where most people stay stuck. It's in that gap.
Mm, yeah.
So here's the question. What's really holding you back? It's not that we don't know, it's that we don't trust. We're stuck in the gap between knowing and trusting. And that's where everything started to change for me. I don't know about for you, and I pray that this will be your story as well. But I realized I wasn't waiting for clarity. I was waiting to trust what I already knew. And that's where the third shift comes in, run the next step. And I'll be honest, this is actually the hardest shift because everything in you, everything in me wants to have it all figured out, wants to feel certain, wants to know it's going to work. But that's not how clarity works because most of us are trying to figure out the whole path when all we've been given is the next step. And this is where trust becomes real. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Not paths, but path straight. So it's not the whole path, but the path in front of you. And I saw this in a real way with my husband, Charles. Last year, we walked through something we never expected. What started out as an unknown health issue turned into months of uncertainty. Doctor after doctor, test after test, x-rays, CT scans, 9 different doctors, and we still didn't have answers. It was a scary time, and I get choked up about it just thinking about it. We didn't know what the future looked like, and we didn't know what this meant long term. And at one point, a specialist recommended an intense 3-day treatment. He highly recommended it. And we had to decide without having the full picture, but we had the next step. And that changed how I think about clarity because we didn't need everything. We just needed enough to move. And that's what this shift is about, moving with what you already know. So instead of asking, how do I figure everything out? What if the better question is, what's my next step? Not again, not with everything figured out, but enough clarity to move. And that's where trust becomes real, right? Trusting God with what you know and what you don't. And that's how you stay in your race one step at a time. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Run with endurance the race the race set before you, not beside you, not behind you, and not ahead of you. The race set before you. You don't need the full route. You just trust and run the next, just trust and run the next turn. So you get to run your race. So this is what I want to leave with you, right? Here's what I want to leave with you. You get to run your race. You get to move forward even when you don't have it all figured out. You get to take the next step even before you feel fully ready. You just need to right size your race, reframe your resistance, and run the next step. Because clarity meets you where you are moving. It meets you as you're moving. So whatever the next step is for you, I encourage you to run it. That's my talk. Thank you so much.
I'm muted.
Any
I'm
questions?
sorry. I
Oh no,
I
any questions?
I am just blown away
Oh, I'm
of
so
how
glad.
God has used you powerfully today.
Yeah.
And, Renee says this is confirmation for a conversation that I just had with an individual. Wow, God is amazing. And I want to read something that I wrote, and then I want to come back to this in my detriment of comparisons on April 26th. One of the greatest ploys of the enemy to entrap and immobilize God's people is through comparisons. Apostle Paul warned that when we measure ourselves against ourselves, we behave unwisely and act foolishly.
That's true.
This part I want to get to, and I'll stop here. I won't read you the whole letter, but it says we are susceptible to contradiction when the truth that God has created each of his people uniquely and purposefully is not embraced. The tendency is that we miss out on recognizing the beauty of our individual uniqueness as a reflection of his image.
Mm,
And have you considered that God is most likely displeased when we compare ourselves against another? It is in direct opposition to the Spirit of God. And that was the lead into my prayer letter back on April 26th. If we were to be able to really measure this a value equal to uh, dollars, money, what we'd find, I believe, in our lives that our opportunities where we've allowed distrust and disbelief,
mhm.
where even what you said, that we
Right.
really believe this is what I'm supposed to do, but allowing that shift to happen to I'm actually doing it. And when I tell you you're so on target with what, and Lisa knows this, because I shared it in some level at the team meeting. She's going to come next weekend. She'll be in Georgia. She's flying in, driving in, however she's getting there. I don't even know. But she's coming, and that's all I care. She's going to be in town for a presentation. I get to opportunity to facilitate a conference in Miller, Georgia. Y'all come. It's just Friday night and Saturday in Miller, Georgia. Great opportunity for some women that are allowing me to be their conference speaker for that weekend. And I told her something that I'm doing about I am, who I am. And then we've got to take it and make it so real to what you're saying today is that I am is fully embraced to the point that I'm walking it out.
Right.
I've got to walk out I am. What you've shared with us today is to me it's beyond empowering and whatever that is. But it is because it's not even it's beyond motivating. It's beyond inspiring. It's time for the clarity that it's like the exposure's there. Just do it. Just do it, is what you've said today. And I know that you probably have opportunities to where you have sessions, that coaching sessions that you are able to help people to go a deep dive in this. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay. What
Yes, I
does
do.
that look like? And what about group sessions?
Um, I right now I don't have group sessions. I mean I could actually start group sessions.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I do one-on-one and I actually have a clarity reset workshop. I do have a clarity workshop that I do.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Because the reason I asked that is because I really think this would be a great investment, Lisa, for us to partner with you at GCBN to be able to work this out because so many people are challenged with that. I know what I've worked through, and I didn't have Connie Menser. It's just me and Holy Spirit when I was obedient.
I
When I
understand.
decided, when I decided, I thought I don't know if I just got old enough, and I'm like, I'm not
Right.
doing this. I'm just gonna trust you. You not never
I
fail me nor
understand.
forsake me. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna trust you. You've proven yourself over and over again. I'm just gonna allow you to be God. That's what I decided. But
Right.
we need this, and we need help. We really literally need
Right.
this. And we got to
Yeah.
somehow
Yeah.
talk, you and I, to be
Okay.
able. I just
To
had an idea. We got to talk about GGG. We'll talk
okay.
about it some more.
You're so
We'll
funny.
talk about it some more.
I
I
get
just had an idea. Okay. All right. But Lisa, what do you think?
it.
You come do your
Well,
thing too, but this is, I'm just mind blocked. This is
I
just too
I
much.
just well, I appreciate that. That makes me glad. But I do want to put it out there. If anybody wants to apply this, I am offering a 40-minute clarity reset session, and I've got my cell phone number on there with my email address. Just shoot me an email and in the subject line, just put next step so I can find it, and then we can connect and get that organized. I also have my nonprofit. I still kept both. My decision was to keep both through God by God's grace. It's full supply, and that is a nonprofit where we equip women to mentor others for Christ. It's a mentoring ministry, women's mentoring training ministry, actually. And I actually have a couple of groups formed already with that. So that's been fun. We have two fundraisers coming up. Right now we have what we call a 1,000 times 100. We're looking for 1,000 donors to give $100. Obviously, people can give less or more. Um, but the goal is to reach and equip 1,000 women over the next 3 years. That's the goal with the nonprofit. So the coaching business, focusing on business women, helping them grow their businesses. So close that clarity gap and build their businesses, build what they're meant to build. So yeah,
This is amazing. Thank you, Connie. Thank you
thank
so
you so much.
very much. Thank you for your membership
Thank you so much
to
for
GC.
having me. I really appreciate it. This
Yeah.
has been really fun, and I'm getting to know so many people. So when I walk in the room, I have some familiar faces and things like that now. So
Awesome.
it's been a
Awesome.
fun ride. I really appreciate GCBN. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And we value you as well. I was
thank you.
talking with, chatting with Jeanette Lasky this morning, and she's usually here on the Zoom side of the house, but she's got an engagement for some volunteer work this morning. And I want to connect you two, but also came to mind that you need to connect with Phyllis Breach as well, because I
I
think
think I've
there's
met her.
and you've met her probably on the NACWE side. I don't know. Were you at
Yes,
the?
she was
Oh,
a
she
speaker.
spoke. You
She was a
heard
speaker.
her
I met
speak
her.
at GCBN quarterly event. Her and
Yes, I
James
met her.
Haas. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah, I hear some things. I hear things when I don't I, Lisa, when we're on these calls. My girl, Lisa Muth, talk to us. What's coming up at
Okay.
GCBN? Talk
Yeah,
to us and tell me what you
absolutely.
thought about today, too.
Oh, it was great. This was really great. Connie, I wanted to let you know I shot you an email. Let me see if I
Okay.
can share my screen right
Oh,
fast.
sweet. Okay, Lisa.
Um, I made you
Well, you're fast.
some graphics based on what you had talked about today. So, courtesy of Georgia Christian Business Network, there you go. We'll rehash
Uh-huh.
some of these in case you're just joining us or if you're watching a replay. Comparison rewrite your definition of success.
Sure does.
If you don't define success for yourself, someone else will define it for you. And then Connie's Yes framework right here.
Thank
So,
you.
I'll share the link with you as well. So if you need to update or edit
Are you
or
putting
whatever.
that in Facebook or something, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I can. I send it to your email so you can share it wherever you want to. And
Oh,
then
well, I love that you created that. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Well, we
My
have some,
girls are just amazing. They
Feel free
never
to put it
cease
in
to
GCBN if you would like.
yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. So we have some friends over on the Facebook side. The numbers have been, 5, 6, 7, 8 the whole time. So we're excited that you guys were over there and are staying and are communicating. So I want to shout out April Minger over there, our girl April Minger. Love you, April. I don't know if you're still here, but hey, April was our Middle Georgia GCBN member for the longest time, and then she's moved to Ohio now, and so it's okay though. We love you, and you're still here, so yay.
Yes.
And then we have Jadana Barika, who's in Belgium over in Europe. And so thank you, Jadana, for joining us. She tagged some of her friends, and Anidra's over there on the Facebook side. We have David O on the Facebook side. David O, we got to meet you because you're here, and we just want to get to know you. You'll have to check out our events and come join us. So let's see who else was on here. I feel like Kenna was here.
Yeah.
Kenna was here. I can't see it on this side, but she was here as well. So, there she is. Hi, Kenna. And if you have any questions or you want to connect with Connie, we posted that over on the Facebook side so you can get that. It kind of looks weird right now. It's doing all the little things. Okay, we'll go to our Facebook page. It's like doing the I'm so sorry. That was just for me to not miss a name. But anyway, go to our Facebook page over here on the More tab. You can click that, go to events, and you'll find all of our events for Georgia Christian Business Network. We have our May events loaded up here every Monday at 9:00 Eastern time. There's a prayer call, so you guys make sure that you tune into that. There's no advertising. There's no like, hey, we're doing this event or that event. It's really just a prayer time and a prayer conversation. And so bring your prayer request, come and meet Renee Salvery and Miss Beth on the call and join us at 9:00 Eastern time. Tuesday, every Tuesday we have a Transformation Tuesday, just like Connie brought today. It is a new presenter every week. And we, as Beth already had mentioned on the call, we have powerful presenters. And I think Jadana, I read that over on the Facebook side as well, is that we just have a wealth of knowledge in our community. And it's amazing that we can bring our members to the front and share it with you and the community. And like I said, this is going on YouTube. This is out on LinkedIn. We're sharing to other places. So it's amazing to be able to highlight our members. So if you are not a member or a sponsor of Georgia Christian Business Network, go to our website, GCBnetwork.com. That's the website, GCBnetwork.com. And you can find the membership information here. You can find our events here as well. If you don't want to go on the Facebook side, you can find it here. And if you have questions or you're like, I'm not really sure what that means, just reach out to us. We would be glad to, explain, help you find the membership opportunity that works best for you and your business. We do have membership opportunities and sponsorship opportunities that can flow down too. So just check that out. And if you have any questions or you get stuck, just let us know. Every Wednesday, we have a Living Well Wednesday call, and we're excited on 2026 to be able to change the name and rebrand that to Living Well Wednesday. It's an opportunity for us to speak with our professionals who work in the counseling space and the health and wellness space to be able to live well in life and in business. And it's important for our health. It's important for our mental wellness. It's important for our spiritual wellness, right? To be able to live well in our life. And so all of those facets are combined. We have a different speaker every week. And so just check that out. If you haven't joined, I would challenge you, put it on your calendar today, set your clock so that you can join us at noon tomorrow. So Transformation Tuesday and Wellness Wednesdays are at noon, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. We have God Golf and Girls that's coming up in August. I wanted to make sure we didn't miss Friday Noon Nugget, but that was Friday. We do have a replay of Friday Noon Nugget. The first Friday of every month, we have a business, like a Georgia Christian Business Network member come and share a topic to be able for you to take that nugget and implement it right away in your business. And so that is out on our Facebook group. So you can find that there. I want to highlight July 18th. We have our quarterly networking event. We have 2 presenters that are going to be present that day. And it's an opportunity for you to come and network, you know, and like Connie said, it's good for her to come and see a face that she remembers. And that's what we want for you here at Georgia Christian Business Network. We want you to be able to connect. We want you to be able to have that sister or that brother to ask those questions to. Maybe you need coaching. You can go to Connie. Maybe you need financial. You're going to go to Jason Davis or one of our Lisa Stringer Bailey. Like, you're going to get to know those people. And Beth has mentioned several times in the call about Vicki Jumper. Her name just jumped out of my brain for a second. It just was gone. Vicki Jumper and her medical experience. And so this July 18th membership meeting or networking opportunity, you're going to be able to hear from Jason Davis and you're going to be able to hear from Vicki Jumper. And we are going to believe for it and mission. I'm possible. That's the theme of the event. So you can register for that now. You don't have to be a GCBN member to attend. We have non-GCBN member prices, but your pricing to be able to come, of course, we take care of our members, so it's going to be a lower cost for you.
Yeah.
So check that out. And then Miss Beth, I'll let you talk about GGG.
Excellent. Excellent. I want to invite every female that is under the sound of my voice, whether it's a replay, someone forwarded to you, is to not only to look closely into joining us and being a part of God Golfing Girls 2026. Listen, this isn't our first pony ride. This is our 11th annual event. And I was asking God, how do we follow that 10th? The 10th event last August was, spectacular. It was just amazing. It blew me away. But the opportunity is that we're not trying to compare. What we're trying to do is to continue to elevate the experience and your opportunity to encounter God in the midst of your sister. It's a sisterhood. Women that attend God Golfing Girls, I don't care whether their first time or their 10th time. And yep, we have people that have experienced all 10 years, but they will agree. And some of the testimonials that I've even seen, I didn't even know we had that playback that is going out there talking to us about the impact of this 3-day weekend, which is a themed weekend, therapeutic on Friday night, all things therapy, all things therapeutic on Friday night. From the moment you get there until the end of that day, you are focused on relaxing, enjoying. We've got it. Do you come across that bridge at Lake Lanier Resort? Lake Lanier Islands, and we say once you cross that bridge, you become ours. We own you, and it's a good ownership there. And we look for every opportunity to make life a blessing, that you feel that you're the queen that God created you to be. It's our service, our reasonable service, our great opportunity to serve you. It's an experience, and we call it that. Saturday is a day of transformation, and where, oh my God, get ready. We have speakers. Lisa's an opening speaker for us and have been for, I want to venture to say 9 years, maybe. On Friday night, and I'm not kidding you, when she speaks, you've heard her some, facilitate Transformation Tuesday and even do an opportunity as a co-host with when I'm not here or whatever, chime in, but there's nothing like you'll see on Friday night. She's a different person when she gets behind that podium, and God uses her so many ways, and she's totally funny. I want to just prepare you for that. But and we have other speakers on Friday night, another speaker, but then Saturday is a day of conference speakers. We have a panel that we introduced last year that we're going to do again this year. We've got the golf part. That's part of the day of transformation, and it's totally optional. Lots of people see God Golfing Girls and say, I don't play golf. That's the first thing of all that we said, God, golf, and girls. And they hone in the middle and say, well, I don't play golf. Hear the whole picture, the whole story. Golf is optional. We do encourage you, if you're a new attendee, experience for that one opportunity. We have a golf clinic virtually on June 6th. That is a dear member of ours that is very skilled in the sport. Is going, Christian Haley is going to facilitate that. We are in discussion. Our golf pro of 7 years, our golf enthusiast, Taylor Allen, has been with us for the past 7 years. And she's on maternity leave right now, but we're in conversation with her, and our hopes are high. I'm going to put it out there that she'll be there that afternoon of God Golfing Girls. If not, you're not to worry because we've got you covered. We've got a golf clinic that happens on site that day that gets you familiar. And actually, when you have that experience just from being there with her, the opportunity is like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play. But then we
What is
have
it?
some, huh?
TikTok
But
short.
Sorry.
that's
Sorry,
okay.
it was the children. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting ready to add something to that. But most people, I thought she was going to say this, the golf carts. Most women just get out there, they go to the first and second hole, and the next thing you know, they're just driving around having a good time on the golf carts. But if you're really interested and want to learn the skill, the great opportunity is to come out and allow, whether it's Taylor Allen or whomever God sends for us, the opportunity to help you with technique. And you will feel from that first opportunity like, wow, this is worth the investment. So golf is optional and not even included in the price of the entire weekend. We have an awesome evening dinner. When I tell you the Friday night, we're changing venues for Friday night. So those of you think that we're going to be at the pier, which is exceptional, but we're not going to be at the pier on Friday night, and that's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to be at Lake Lanier Islands, but we won't be at the pier because this is going to be mind-boggling where we're going to be on Friday night. Saturday is a great opportunity. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is a transformation. I told you about that. There's a lot of opportunity for free time, for networking. People make relationships, but Sunday is triumphant. I get to speak on Sunday, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I get to take in all of the other speakers and just be present. And so my opportunity is Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I think I close this out. But we have a panel. We're going to have the Living Well team panel in person. Shantae Robullocks that closes us out. She lives in Alabama. She's a GCBN member. You don't have to live in Georgia to be a GCBN member. And we're working on changing that name to Global Christian Business Network. And we're going to be doing it. You said Jadonna was on the Facebook side of the house. We're traveling to Belgium in June, God willing, to facilitate opening up that leg of GCBN and to make us officially international. But the Sunday is a great opportunity to have more speakers, have a participation from the Living Well team, to be able to help you to close out the conference on a high note and to experience triumph. And so I want to encourage you, if you are female, do not, we have payment opportunities. It is an investment in you. There's great value. Some says, oh, it's expensive. No, when you go call Lake Lanier and ask them for a room, okay, you'll see that it is really a great opportunity for us. And we've calculated costs so that it wouldn't be over a burden for you. We do work with you on payment plans if that's something you need. And I will tell you this, because we've got the early bird that we're reopened, okay? And I think it's just good through the 7th, June 7th. And if you pay early bird in full, if you're a GCBN member, it's only $9.25. The other ones, Lisa, I don't know how much they cost, but I know for GCBN members, if you pay that $9.25, golf is optional and can be paid like the week prior to. You can sign up at and take advantage of the early bird rate. So excited. It's going to be a spectacular colors, and it's the year of the shift. So Thank you, thank you, thank
Okay,
you.
so I have to say this. April Minger said GGG is on my schedule. I can't wait to see everyone. So April Minger,
April,
I'm holding
oh
you
my
to it.
God,
I'm
oh
excited. I just
my
have,
God,
can I just tell this
oh my
story?
God,
I don't know.
hallelujah.
Should I, should I
April,
tell?
please. But
Gotta
it
tell it.
is, I will have to say this to everyone. It is important that we know from you and that some payment is made by June 1
Please.
in order to get a shirt. It doesn't mean you can't still come if you haven't registered by June 1. What it means is the likelihood of your getting a shirt is not going to be very good. So we really, really need to know if you're taking advantage. And I think I made a mistake in saying today is May 5th. I do not mean that the early bird is open to June 7th. Please forgive me for saying that. I am so out of order with that. Okay. I need to bring it in a month. The early bird rate that we reopen is good until whatever this Friday is. What is that, Lisa? It's the 8th or something like that?
It's the
Okay.
8th.
8th. That's when the early bird extension is good too.
And we
It's,
extended it last week too. So
yeah,
it's not that
yeah.
we just opened it today. It was extended.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. Because
it's coming to a close. So
yeah, because I'm being corrected right off the bat. Somebody's hearing me like, what? You
is that
know?
Jess? Jess is like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. So you're gonna have an opportunity and share it out. You know, share it out. You have no idea who really needs to be in the room, but just share the opportunity because it is an opportunity for laughter and for crying. But it's not just all crying, but amazing presenters. Like it's an incredible event. So if you've never gone, you really should calculate, you know, your timing and your however you need to get there. Put it on your calendar like April did and be in the room because it's a special event.
And come to the free
Okay.
clinic, June virtual clinic, June 6th. I told Jadonna to get her people on there from Belgium because she's coming back again. She was here last year. She's a speaker this year, but she's coming back, Jadonna, and she's bringing people with her from Belgium. Can you believe that? And then come to the 6th. Lisa puts together an awesome presentation that kind of walks you through the whole entire weekend, and we have more time to do it. Plus, Christian Haley is facilitating the virtual golf clinic, and Taylor in times past has had us grab a broom within your home or whatever. Just say you don't have clubs, but you will get enough understanding about GGG as well as golf itself at this June 6th free virtual clinic on a Saturday morning, and we won't keep you long, promise you. Okay, so that's GGG, and don't miss out because this year it's not that we're trying to be funny about the shirts. It's just that we try to guesstimate, and we've got shirts for days here, and we're not going to do that. That's not being a good steward. We got to hold people accountable. You gotta make up your mind, and it's because it's very costly for us to try to say a guesstimate. Well, let me get these extra shirts because this person might come or this person. We're just gonna put it out there and then we'll tell you the shirt color if you miss out and you can get something close to it. But we embroider our shirts and everything's really nice. So just let us know. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Connie, close us
Yeah,
out with a statement that you want us to remember. What is it that you want us to walk with today?
I want you to walk with confidence, knowing that you know what to do. You just have to trust it. Run your
Love
race
it.
because
Run your race.
no one else is going to run your race. You don't want to run someone else's race. Run your own race.
And there's joy in that, isn't it?
There is joy in that.
Yeah.
Comparison steals our joy. Um, and that's where we get off track. But if you stay in your own race and run your own race, it wasn't in the talk, but it's okay to take people with you, right? We need coaches. We need support. Right? We need other people. Take people with you on your race. Just don't
Mm,
want somebody
I
else's.
love it.
Yeah,
The shift is here. The shift is now. The shift is within you. It's time
absolutely.
to shift, folks. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Uh, it's time to get unstuck. it's time to shift and reach out to Connie because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the things that she shared today has just resonated in my spirit, and I can identify with it. And I know that a lot of people can experience what she has to offer and get unstuck. Thank you guys for joining us. Lisa, you're amazing. Renee hung out with us most of today as well. We want to thank all of you for being consistent over on the Facebook side of the house, even LinkedIn, YouTube. Let us know you're there. Let us know that you heard and it was of value to you. And look to our website, gcbnetwork.com. We're focused, determined, and intentional to put God back in business. And we need your help. While you're out there checking out for the next event, join as a member or a sponsor. We're looking forward to greeting you soon. Take care. Did you have something, Connie? Were you going to say something?
No, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
everybody that was on the line and listened. So
Awesome.
thank you
Awesome.
so
Take
much.
care. God
You
bless
too.
you. And
Thank
we'll
you.
see you soon. Bye bye now.